Well, this sucks, but I just got a bit of news that allows me to refute the narrative that was put forward by Wall Street Bets. You know, which I want to post this to you. Well, actually, let me just go over to here. You know, and everything and post the whole. As someone with a background in data science, I've been working with GPUs for the past 4 to 5 years, so I have a decent understanding of the space. Here's my thesis on why I'm shorting Nvidia. About a year ago, the major tech companies were severely GPU short. Sorry, GPU poor. Getting a GPU, for instance, on any cloud server was incredibly difficult. People, including the CTO of Hugging Face, have used the term GPU poor to describe the situation. However, things have changed. Nvidia has fulfilled a significant number of orders, and now securing a GPU, for instance, on cloud servers is much easier. Most companies rely on Microsoft, Oracle, or AWS, as in Amazon, for their GPU needs. With the quote shovels GPUs already sold, the opportunity now lies with the gold diggers, i.e. companies using GPU for innovation. At this point, I struggle to justify Nvidia's 3.1 trillion market cap. The only way for them to continue standing out with such high valuation is by innovating something even faster. But in my opinion, that's unlikely to happen at the pace the market expects. So that's my thesis. I'm ultra short Nvidia now. I've been shorting since the 100/200 levels before results, and I believe this position will pay off in the long run. I do hope that you bought with puts because I don't wish to completely destroy you, sir. I mean, I would feel bad taking everything from you. Honestly, I don't wish to this to be the situation where somebody else preys on your error and does it in a manner in which they end up eating your entire portfolio. So I do hope for your sake that you bought puts rather than shorts. All right, but Oracle Corp is buying $40 billion worth of Nvidia Corp chips to build a data center for OpenAI. The Financial Times reported today the deal is believed to involve about 400,000 GB200 Grace Blackwell processor. Each chip combines two of Nvidia's latest Blackwell B200 graphics cards with the 72-core processing unit. I'm sorry, I'm hungry. Oracle will use the chips to power a sprawling data center currently under construction in Abilene, Texas. The facility will reportedly consume 1.2 gigawatts of power once it's fully operational. That corresponds to the electricity usage of about 1 billion. Sorry, excuse me. I've got this problem with pronouncing numbers. 1 million households. The facility is part of Stargate, OpenAI's initiative to build a network of artificial intelligence data centers in the U.S. The ChatPD developer partnered with Oracle, SoftBank Group Corp, and Abu Dhabi-based fund MGX on the project. Stargate is expected to cost up to $500 billion over the next 4 years. So, you divide that up by 4, which, to get some numbers about the estimated cost per year. So that's $125 billion per year, each year. The Financial Times cited sources saying that OpenAI and SoftBank will each invest $18 billion in each other. The project for a majority stake. Oracle and MGX in turn have reportedly committed $7 billion each. a Texas data center where Oracle plans to install its 400,000. It's set to come online in mid 2026. It's owned by Furushima Energy Systems LLC, a Denver-based data center startup and investment firm Blue Owl Capital. The two companies have reportedly raised about $15 billion from institutional backers, mostly in the form of debt, to finance the project. Oracle has leased the facility for 15 years. It'll make the data center's computing capacity available to OpenAI for use in its AI projects. The companies teamed up after the ChatGPT developer entered an exclusive cloud hosting agreement with Microsoft Corp, one of its largest investors, last year. The GB200 Grace Blackwell chip will power the data center, can run large language models using up to 25 times less electricity than its predecessor. It also includes other enhancements, according to Nvidia. The chip uses built-in AI models to anticipate technical issues. Meanwhile, a module known only as the decompression engine speeds up the task of retrieving information from databases. The chip's two GPUs are made by Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, using a modified version of its N4P process, which, by the way, TSMC looks like a hot investment too. N4P is a heavily upgraded iteration of the company's 5nm node. During the chip manufacturing workflow, transistors are etched into processors using beams of laser light. Those laser beams are not projected directly onto the processor, but first go through so-called photomask. A photomask is a panel that filters some of the light to customize the manner in which transistors are formed. Compared with TSMC's earlier processors, N4P requires fewer chip manufacturing steps that involve a photomask. That increased GPU production speeds, which should make it easier for Nvidia to keep up with demand for its chips. The Oracle Texas data center is set to be joined by more Stargate facilities in the U.S. down the line. Oh wow, there's going to be more of them. They just haven't announced them yet. The company has also partnered with OpenAI to build a Stargate campus in the United Arab Emirates. The data center, which will reportedly use an enhanced version of GB200 Grace Blackwell chips, is set to come online next year. So this is being reported in SiliconANGLE and everything, and it's leading me to point out that is 400,000 more shovels than the ultra short on Wall Street Bets expected in the whole thing. And I am actually more of a retail investor than anything else. I mean, that's what I do, and everything, and I'm a retail investor just like the person who made this post. But I think that they just got blindsided by the Oracle purchase, and I actually think that in my current position, like, I don't know how much we as a family now own of Nvidia, but I do note that the earnings reports are showing that they're within the next 4 days. Based on what we are seeing from Oracle, I think that guidance going forward would mention this in the earnings report, that Oracle is likely to buy even more GPUs at this point. They just, they haven't put those orders in yet, but they expect to, and that, on top of all these other factors, I don't know. I mean, they're 5080 and 5090 series basically sold out the moment they launched into the market. And put them on the market in the first place. They sold out very quickly and everything. And so, you know what? I think the earnings report is going to come in, with some surprises that, mean the company accumulated more than expected, and than Wall Street Bets is expecting. And as a consequence, I am long them as a company, although I suppose 3.1 trillion is massive. Has anybody ever been that big, is the question that I'm asking. But still, my apologies, I'm hungry, but I think when I'm gonna be tuning in for that earnings report, probably not like as it's going live. I will get it after the fact, but when I look into it, I'm actually expecting that the stock will probably rally after the earnings report, especially since Oracle is doing what it's doing. I think that Wall Street Bets is thinking with its well, it's not thinking with its neocortex. It's thinking with its lower centers of the brain. It's thinking with its the portion that's more emotional than logical. You know, basically, we all. I share Wall Street's Bets sentiments in hating Nvidia. I don't like them. I don't like paying $1,000 for a video card. I don't like that experience at all. I don't like their absolute dominance of the GPU market, that they've hiked prices as high as they have, that you know that they haven't diverged product lines so that people who want, who don't need that much power, who don't need the power that the fucking, crypto miners and AI super giants need and everything. They haven't released a series of cards at our price points, which, paying $1,000 for a video card is a pain point in building a PC that, believe me, I fucking hate it. It's just that, what will you have me do? I have to stay current with technology. I have to, build a PC every now and then. Otherwise, I just have to go without entirely. And I'm not gonna do that. It cuts me out of contact with everybody I care about. So basically, I think Wall Street Bets is wrong. I think I think this earnings report is actually going to come out with some surprises that I think nobody saw the Oracle report coming. I think that it's not. I think that information is too current to have been factored into those decisions that were made 3 months ago. Uh, um, I think Nvidia is probably going to have made more money than expected, and that's going to, it won't be retail investors that buy in at that point. It will be the institutional money that pours into it. So, I think the future for the company is bright.